Ooh, it's FHO with your guy, Oleezeh. I may start the show like that from now on.
Oh, God, please, no! 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 No!
But yeah, look. This is my list of rappers that had the best run in hip-hop history, okay? Honorable mentions to Snoop, Outkast, other rappers that should be on this list, but they're not. This is just a selection. It's not in any particular order. So I'll leave the most surprising to the last. So stay to the end to understand who I put down. Alright? Let's begin. JayZ, obviously, who will be on this list. He had crazy amount of hits from 96. Wait, that rhymed. 96 to 2003 for when he retired, or initially retired. Probably the first rapper to have, not the first rapper, but he was very lyrical. He was very consistent with his hits, a lot of classics. He set trends. He was very business savvy. He was very popular for a very long time until he retired when 50 came through. So I would definitely put him in that list. Also, he came back obviously out of retirement in 06 with the Kingdom Come album. That sold well, and every other album he's put out since then has sold well. He's pretty much a legend, an icon. He lost to Nas. He lost a few battles in my opinion, but you can't really argue with that consistency he had from 96 to, especially 98 to 03. Nobody was really messing with him except for maybe when DMX came out and Ja Rule had his run, and parted ways when 50 came in, which was a smart move. Ooh, that's Jigga Man. Coming in next is I'll put in Nas, just to be obvious. Nas has to be on the list. Came in 93 with his freestyle on MC Search's song Live at the Barbecue. Then he came out of his album in 94 or 93, 94, and to this day still doing things. Put out like 4 albums in the last 5 years, and with his new producer Hit Boy. The last album was pretty amazing, King's Disease 3. I mean, Nas has been a great, because even in 98, 99 he was kind of falling off popularity with his I Am album and the Nostradamus albums that came out in the same year, and people were thinking he's over. Then JayZ came out at him with the Takeover. Nas won that with Ether, we all know that, and he had a bit of a renaissance with the Godson album, Street's Disciple. But I mean, the guy's been around for like 30 years, still putting out good music. His style of rap is very street, very hood, but still polished and able to make hit songs as well. But yeah, Nas definitely has to be in the all-time hip-hop greatest runs of all time, and he's still going. Yo, it's FHO with your guy Oleezeh, and next is Uncle LL Cool J. He comes in, obviously one of the best runs in hip-hop history, except for people don't really mention it. He started in 1985, and I think he didn't fall off until about 2006 after he did that song Headsprung. That was a big song. He also did that year the song with Jennifer Lopez, I think it's All I Have, when they're walking in the snow. That was a good song. But then he also did the other song with J-Lo, which was that Fashion song, which maybe people don't remember. It was horrible. Go look it up. Okay, LL Cool J, good battle, had famous hip-hop battles. Probably the first rapper to have a formula that was very successful with making love songs, which obviously Ja Rule and Drake and a lot of other rappers followed after that. But he has to be on the list. To go from 1985 to 2006, consistently keeping hits and selling albums and staying relevant with all these new generation of rappers, got to respect it. So Uncle LL comes in my list. Hey yo, it is FHO If you didn't know, you need to know. Because now we got our next guy. Our next guy is kind of obvious. He has to be on the list. It is JayZ Drake, the hit maker. Probably the best and longest run in hip-hop history. But I must say, I'm conflicted with putting my guy Drake on this list.
Say what?
Because Drake is half R&B, half rap. And I don't know, it's not entirely hip-hop. But he has to be on the list because he does rap. And he's been doing this since he came out in 2009. 2010 with that album. But then he had his mixtape in 09. So he's been around a very long time and he has never fallen off. Not many rappers have even been able to compete with him at all. And he's still, even to this day, the #1 rapper. I don't think anyone could dispute that. Even though there's disputes that he even writes his stuff.
And the lie detector test determined that was a lie.
But you can't compete with that run, you can't compete with the hits, can't compete with the different styles he's able to possess. I wouldn't say he's the most lyrical, but you just can't front on his hit making ability. You know, they call him the young Michael Jackson or today's Michael Jackson, but you can't touch Mike. But you know, Drake 100% on the list. Probably one of the best runs in music history, let alone hip hop. But yeah, that's JayZ Drake. Boom. We got our last person here. Shall I leave you in suspense? Because if he did stay to the end of the pod, well done, salute, respect. Because this guy needs respect. Because he's unexpected. It's Mr. Fat Joe. Let's give an applause. You might be shocked. The reason why I put Fat Joe in this is because Fat Joe came out in like 1993. That's like 12,000 BC.
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. And he didn't really start popping until he had his renaissance in the late 90s. He obviously had Big Pun that made him popular, but then Fat Joe as an artist got very popular in 2000 when he did the song with Ashanti and Ja Rule, What's Love. Obviously it's a big song, bit of a classic. But he also had the song with R. Kelly, We Thuggin', and then he did his Terror Squad, that's his group's album, in 05 with Lean Back. And even ever since then, he's always come out with maybe not the biggest selling album, but always like one of the biggest songs of that time, whether it's that summer or that winter, whatever. He always comes out with a big song. So for somebody from that era, from the early 90s, and he was never really the most popular rapper ever, even in the beginning, for him to be lasting 25, 30 years in rap is very impressive. I mean, if you're a big artist and you fade out but you're still around, that's much more common. But to do it as a rapper that was never really in the top 10 or 20 at his era is very impressive. So Fat Joe comes in at #1 in my list. But honorable mentions to Eminem, to Ja Rule, honorable mentions to a lot of these guys because they done their thing. But this was my list. What's your list? Get at me. Fresh Hip Hop Opinion, FHO, signing out. Peace.